Major breaking news. The feds have dropped 3 charges against Sean Diddy Combs. We covered this last night, but I guess I was right. I guess I was right. They dropped 3 charges, man. And so I guess I was right, man. Guess I was right the whole time. Guess I was right the whole time, but it's major breaking news. Everybody reporting on it now. So maybe I read it correctly. Maybe it the way the way it looks, it don't look like they dropped them, but everybody reporting it. So I guess I was right last night. I guess I didn't jump out the window last night. And speak too soon. So I guess I didn't speak too soon. But that's the latest on the curb right now. And so what does that mean for the case? That's what I want to talk about. Um, he still has some charges that closing statement has to be everything. The closing statement against him has to be everything. They have to, his defense attorney is going to have to deliver the closing statement, the best closing statement ever, to try to get him off the Mann Act. Because if they can sit here and put doubt in the case, which they have already, he's in good shape. I don't see them getting him on 2 predicate acts. I don't see it. So we'll see. Um, yeah, I just don't see it. Them getting him on 2 predicate acts. But we're gonna see. They have to get him. Remember, they have to. Well, they dropped the attempted arson, and they dropped all the arson, all the language in the arson. And if that's the case, how about the conspiracy though? Was that dropped too? I'm not sure. I'm outside. So we're gonna see how it plays out later on, and also tomorrow during closing statements. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to make the closing statement tomorrow, but Friday I will. Um, so we're going to see. I will be there more than likely for the defense. The defense closing maybe, because I think the government, they're not even doing a rebuttal. From my understanding, if I understand that right, I don't think they're going to do a rebuttal. Mean both going to go once. That's kind of unusual. Usually they have a rebuttal because they have the burden of proof. The government has dropped charges relating to 1 attempted kidnapping under both California. Well, that's 2. They dropped 2 kidnapping charges, 1 in California and 1 in New York. That's 2. That's 2 predicate acts they dropped. And attempted arson under California law, and aid and abetting sex trafficking. That's actually good for him. Even though they didn't drop the S trafficking, but the aiding and abetting they dropped. But they still have the trafficking up there, the language up there in the charges. So, but I'm talking about the predicate act though. The arson is, I thought that was the strongest case they had for a predicate act. But they didn't drop the bribery, right? They didn't drop that. Remember, they have to get 2 predicate acts. If they find him guilty on count 1, they need 2 predicate acts, and then they're done. For me, the strongest predicate act would have been the arson, if you believe Capricorn Clark, if you believe her testimony. And they also said, well, if you believe her, well, no, she wasn't there for the arson. She didn't testify that she was there to witness that. And they don't have any surveillance footage. So Maybe they dropped that one. Just figure they like, let's drop that one. They claiming they dropped charges to make it simple for the jury, but I think I know the real alleged reason. You tell us. Mistrial, appeal, or pardon will happen. We're gonna have to wait for the pardon. You got to wait until afterwards. We can't even entertain that right now, just because of what's going on in the world right now. That's the least of his concerns, Trump. That's the very least, but it's nothing but a sign of a pen. He can do it by way of a pen, but we're gonna see if he can actually beat this first. He's still got a mountain to climb. He still have a mountain to climb. Yeah, of course. I mean, he could get a pardon at any time after the if he get convicted. We have to say if, because I don't know what the jury gonna do. But it looked like I was right last night. But it's very confusing on how they wrote it though. Did you drop all the arson or what? Now the aiding and abetting of sex trafficking, then he's gonna beat the sex trafficking. Then he's gonna beat that if they didn't put the aiding and abetting there, because the way they had the trial going, that he did aid and abet. That's what they're alleging, that he did aid and abet the S trafficking. Why? Because he put it together, didn't he? Didn't he tell people? Didn't he tell people what to do allegedly? This is confusing to the. This is even more confusing to the jury, because how can I get him on two predicate acts now if y'all dropping this? He has a really good chance. His chances just increase of just beating the whole thing, because if all he need is a couple jurors to believe, just one to believe that he was just in a relationship and it was a weird relationship. That's all they need to know, and then they not gonna get him on that Mann Act. They not, because they not prostitutes. However, was it illicit sex acts across state lines? They All right. Damn, I was muted the whole time. Lord have mercy. Lord, Lord, Lord. I was muted the whole time. Okay. I'm so confused I muted myself. That's how confused I am. So here's the thing. They kind of helped him out on that criminal enterprise a little bit. If anything, they could get him on the bribery, but they need two predicate acts though. And I don't. And the rest of them are not. For me, the rest of them are weak. They're weak. I could see the arson, and that'll be it. They'll get him on the they'll get him on the racketeering. But that carries a zero minimum to maximum life. So the judge has discretion there on what he can sentence him to. He's still kind of not out of hot water yet. This is just my opinion. He's not out of hot water yet, but they helped him a little bit. And my question is why? We'll never know why, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see. They're gonna. Here's the thing. They're gonna. As far as the closing statements, them closing statements, they're gonna have to get a closing statement of their life. They got to. They got to poke holes in his case and create doubt. They have to. They already done it because I have doubt. I'm not gonna put this man away for 20 plus years, and I got doubt on whether it was just a freaky ass relationship. That's what I think it was. I don't think this was trafficking. I think they were just doing their thing. And money was involved. Them women weren't prostitutes, man. They definitely wasn't. They weren't. They weren't. They were just they agreed to a freaky ass relationship. And he has a little bit of help here, but it's still he got it's still not he's still in hot water. But more than likely at this point he probably thinking pardon in the back of his mind. Because for him to get up and say the judge doing a good job, he's relaxed. He's not nervous at all for him to say that. And he's looking stone-faced in court. He doesn't appear to be nervous. So he got to know something. And I told you how relaxed his lawyers are. When I saw him outside, they were all relaxed, joking with people. This is the biggest case of their life. It's stressful. It's the biggest case of their life. But maybe everybody handles stress differently. But this is the biggest case of their life. I don't care what they say. This is the biggest case. And they're very relaxed. They got to know something we don't know. I bet you. Let me tell you what a friend of mine, he went through law school, right? He learned everything in law school, right? Let me tell you what he told me and what was told to him when he joined the firm. He do his private practice now. He laughed. He said, because I was like, yeah, I would like to go to law school too, man. And he said, okay, well, if you do, he says, it's a couple things you need to know that was told to me. You know what he said? He said as soon as he got to the firm, they sat him down in the conference room. They said, well, just to let you know, everything that you learned in law school, I want you to forget about it. Everything that you learn. He said, obviously, it's good to know it. He said, it's good to know it. But they said, it's all about what you can prove, and it's all about who you know. That's what they told him. And he said, there could be deals being cut, but you keep your mouth shut. That's what he told me. And he said, I want you to learn how to play golf. That's what they told him. He already knew how to play golf. They said, good. You know how to play golf? It's a lot of deals being made on the golf course. That's what he told me. This system ain't fair, yo. That's what he told me. But he said there's certain cases where that don't happen. There's certain cases that don't happen. If they caught you dead to rights on something, like when they caught Bernie Madoff. When they caught Bernie Madoff, you would think, well, he had money. He could have cut a deal, right? The answer is no, because the former president of the United States was affected by it because his grandmother lost money. That was George W. Bush. and his grandmother was wrong. She had passed away, but she was affected by that whole Ponzi scheme. A lot of people were. A lot of people of power was affected by it. So he couldn't cut no deal, even though he knew a lot of people. He couldn't cut a deal. It's just certain things, like if you mess up really, really badly, there ain't no deals to be cut. But one thing I can tell you is this: he hired somebody. He got two. He strategically got lawyers on his side that got a lot of pull. Mark Agnifilio got pull. He's very well respected. Alexandra Shapiro, very well respected on the higher level. So these people, she's been doing this for over 30 years. Agnifilo been doing it for over 30 years. These people been in the tri-state for over 30 years. Okay. The best thing that he did, sometimes they say the best thing to do is not get a high-powered lawyer from another state, even though he did, but his main team was from the tri-state. They work out of the tri-state. So that's always good. That's what they said where Cosby messed up the second time. He should have kept Brian. His name is Brian. He should have kept him on the team because he got a lot of respect in the Pennsylvania area. But he brought in Michael Jackson's old lawyer for the second case. Because the first case, remember, they had to do it again. I honestly believe the second time they would have had to, he would have won that second one, but he didn't have Brian on the team. Sometimes it's good to have power within that state. Yeah, he told me that. He said a lot of deals is made on the golf course, man. He said you get cool with a lot of people. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. Now, you're not going to be able to prove that that goes on, but I believe it goes on, and he said it. And he's not the only person that said that to me. They're not going to tell us this, and they're not going to admit to it. But he strategically has some really good lawyers on his team that's very well respected. I'm talking about very well respected, and they're not going to get embarrassed by their peer. They're not going to do that. They're not going to get embarrassed. They got so much pull and respect that they never get embarrassed. How about that? He got some people on his squad that will never get embarrassed. And they got family, their family know people, this and that. That's what the money afforded him. And he willingly gave them what they wanted, probably. And let me tell you something. This is how I feel. Don't take this as fact. When they originally requested money from him, I feel like that was like an extortion attempt. That's what I feel, a legal extortion attempt. And then he settled. He settled within 24 hours. That's what I call it, legal extortion. When you send a demand letter, this and that, we want 30, we want this, blah, blah, blah. No, I ain't giving you that. Okay, boom, it's going public. Now your life is ruined. I mean, it happens all the time. This is business, actually. Businesses get sued every day. So this is business. It's just that I learned that part of the business. That's why I like this trial, because I learned that part of it. That actually goes on. It's a normal thing with these demand letters. It's a normal thing. It's business. And people have insurance just in case if they get sued, the insurance will pay it. You don't necessarily pay it out of your pocket. That's what happened with Cosby. He didn't pay that out of his pocket. His insurance paid it. That's why you have insurance, just in case. So your personal assets will not be liable, just in case if you got to sit up here and settle for millions. They pay a lot of money in insurance. But I know one thing, this man didn't spare no expense. He you know what he did? He paid for respect. That's what he paid for. These lawyers have respect. They do. I've been, since this trial been going on, I've been doing research on his lawyers. I said, oh my God. One of his lawyers used to be, she used to work the appeals. She was on that. You don't think she got friends? Huh? You don't think she got friends? They not gonna let her get embarrassed. They not gonna let them get embarrassed. They got too much pull, man. And get this. You earn your respect. This is something that they earned over 30 years. They earn respect. And they're not gonna get embarrassed. They're not gonna get embarrassed. You earn that. The respect is earned in life. They earned it. I'll tell you that right now. They earn that respect. All of his lawyers are good. When I tell you every last one of them are good. Every last one. I'm talking about great. He paid you, and that costs a lot of money that most people can't afford. Most people can't afford that. Deals are being made on the golf course all the time. That's how I knew 45 and 47 wasn't going to jail. I know people were saying, yo, he might go to jail, this and that. No, he not. No, he not. You got to understand something. There's certain things, regardless of how people think of him, he's an untouchable. It'll be a matter of national security if he gets locked up, because he know too much. Matter of national security. This man had pull since the 1980s. He's had pull when most of us were kids. He had pull. So, and here's the thing. They showed a video of him. This happened a long time ago. This lady was questioning him, right? He had a press conference, right? This sister was questioning him. He said, hey, how you doing? She was like, yeah, this and that about jobs, this and that. He said, you looking for a job? She said, well, yeah, but, this and that. He said, can you come up for a second? And she said, okay. He said, what do you do? What type of thing you could do? And she told him, he said, well, look, there's my guy right there. So y'all work out a deal and we got you. And I'm not going to tell you what he did with Jennifer Hudson. Go research it, what he did for her when her family died. And the reason why, because he knew her, because I told you he was a celebrity. So he knew her, but he did something for her. A lot of people don't know that he did something. So basically, what I'm saying is if Diddy, if his people will talk to him and work something out, he'll let bygones be bygones. That's why I say you got to keep the pill in the back. He got to have the pardon in the back of his mind, because they too relaxed right now. But I'm gonna tell you something though. If he gets out of this, he needs to change everything that he has done. He needs to change up. He needs to start being a bigger philanthropist than he's ever been before. And he's gonna have to be quiet about it, because if he don't think they've been watching him, they'll be watching him now. They're gonna be watching him. But he's not out of hot water yet. But I couldn't believe that. What do you mean you dropping the arson? He got life-changing money. He got enough money to change people's vibrations, yo. He really do. He really do. And he wasn't cheap about it. Now, a lot of people argue that Bill Cosby was cheap about it the first time. He was being cheap. But the second time, he spared no expense. He should have did it the first time. This guy didn't spare no expenses. He did not. That's what people say. Oh, he's spending over $100,000 a day. This man had life change. This dude, he's not regular. He's not regular whatsoever. But they're gonna have to have the closing statement of their life, or maybe not. Maybe they're not thinking that. Maybe they're not thinking that, yo. They're like, look, we got this. This is doubt. That's it. Let's see what happens. Okay, he got convicted. All right, well, we'll go to the next step then. We got a plan B. I believe they do have a plan B because he too relaxed. Everybody's too relaxed. So the stakes are high. I mean, he's 55 years old. He's looking at 20 plus years. So, and I know he knows something. I know he does. He got stuff on everybody. I know he does. I'm gonna tell you something. If people out here, this is a wake up call for people. It should have been a wake up call with Weinstein and Cosby. That should have been the biggest wake up call. They're not playing with these people, man. You said he would never trust any woman again. That ain't it. It's just what he was doing was unusual. He just got to switch that up. He got to switch that up and keep his hands off people. That's it. That's what got him in the trouble here. He had his hands on people. You got to keep your hands off people. And you got to respect people. If he get out of this, man, you got to respect people out here, man. It don't matter if they broke. I learned how to play chess from a homeless guy in Washington Square Park in New York. That's how I learned how to play chess. And he's known out there. He have locks. I'm not sure if he's still out there. I didn't see him. But check this out, right? So he was saying a lot of stuff to me just about life and playing chess. And he was saying just being philosophical. And I just happened to ask him one day, like, where do you go to school? He was like, you're the first person to ask me that in a long time. He said, I went to Columbia. I said, you went to Columbia? He said, yeah, I got a full ride back in the 70s. And I said, well, what did you do after that? I said, I said to him, I said, I know you went higher than that. He said, yeah. And he just, people just have problems, you know what I mean? But a very smart guy. This guy, his ELO was, he's a grandmaster. Certified. He's a grandmaster. And he's a very interesting guy, man. And that's what I'm saying. I don't care if somebody like homeless, you don't know their story. You got to respect people. And I used to, pay him to teach me. Pay him a few dollars, sit out there, and he just beat me. I ain't beat him not once. Actually, I drawed with him. We drawed a game. We drawed, and that was a victory for me. Because you mean to tell me I drawed against him, even though to this day I think he let me do it. To be honest with you, he let me draw it because he shook my hand. He said, "You that was a draw." And I didn't feel like it was a draw. I said, man, you let me do that, man. But he said you got to keep playing. Keep your mind sharp. It's a mental martial art. And it helps you think before you open your mouth. And sometimes it's just better to just keep your mouth shut when things go on out here. That's what he said, man. He said money is not everything. He said respect is. He said if you're a good person, you just smile and say hello to people, people will be willing to help you. Straight up. He knew about everything too, man. We talked about politics, everything. The man has a mind where it's crazy. But if you see him walking down the street, you'll judge him. Because back then, he was picking up cans. You would judge him for that. But you couldn't beat him in chess, I tell you that much. Not nobody out there did. He was known out there. Nobody could, yo. It's a few people showed up, to try to like record them and try to beat them. It didn't work. We used to play 2-minute games. And I remember I was struggling at first. I'm like, man, I can't play no 2-minute games. He said, do it anyway. He said, because when you play, he said, if you keep playing 2-minute games, the 10-minute games will be easy as fuck, or the 5-minute games will be easier. But you got to play the 2 minutes. He said, it's the only game where you can lose and get better. I never forget that, man. I never forget that guy. I was young then, man. I used to go out there and sit out there all day. Now, did I get better? I like to think I did. I like to think I did, but it's like playing golf. If anybody out here play golf, once you hit it straight one time, that's enough to keep you playing golf, yo. Because I suck. But I like to feel like I'm getting better. I haven't played in a while. I probably will do it. I don't know. I got a golf thing in the car. Got my stuff in the car. Oh, shoot. Am I getting bit? Am I getting stung? Damn sure is. Out here getting stung, man. They're playing chess right now. There's a lot of chess being played, but also could be deals being made. I don't know. Very good advice, man. Think before you speak. It saved my life. It saved my life on many occasions. And just saying respect the people and stuff like that, it'll save your life. It'll save your life, man. Just saying hello to people. When somebody hold the door for you, hey, thank you, and you have a good day. Do you know that makes somebody's day when you do that? You could be talking to a killer. You could be talking to a straight killer, because that happened to me. I never forget that, man. I was going into the store. I had sprung my ankle, and I'm getting my limp on. This young kid, like, what's up, man? You good? I said, man, I'm out here trying to be like these young folks on the basketball court and mess my damn ankle up, man. He held the door for him. I said, man, thank you, man. You're a gentleman. Thank you. Thank you so much. And then he just, he left. And then we was coming out. He held the door for me again. We talked for a little bit. We were talking about sports. He's like, oh, you got a Yankee hat on. You from New York? I said, no. I'm from New Jersey. He said, well, it's kind of like New York. I said, no, there's a difference. And we laughed about it. I said, it's a difference. I'm from New Jersey. I'm not one of them types that, oh, I'm from New York. I'm not. I'm from New Jersey. But about a couple of months later, I was at my brother's house. They had arrested a guy for homicide, and it was him. But it wasn't random. He had got into a beef with somebody. It wasn't random, but still, though. He was on the run at that time when I saw him. That's my point to you. He was on the run then. I don't know if he was desperate or not. He could have did something to me, but in that moment in time, he didn't. And I think because I was being, very respectful. Respect go a long way, even with the YNs. See, well, you know how they say, oh, we got the YNs out here? They're doing that to try to separate us. They're trying to separate the age groups to try to put us further apart. That's why they do that. The old heads, the YNs, but we need each other. All you got to do is have respect. It'll be a group of guys come right now, and I greet them and all that stuff. That'll save my life. A lot of people don't know, man. Being respectful will save your life out here. Because I'm not a tough guy. Ain't nothing beat an ambush yet. Not nothing. And always keep your mouth shut if you got to say something bad to somebody. Because the tongue is very powerful. I mean, you got to defend yourself out here if you have to, but it's best to walk away. And those are like principles that'll last out here. Because I'm going to tell y'all something. It's getting strange out here. Did y'all hear what happened? It was at a festival. I think it was in France somewhere. Everybody gets, a lot of people, hundreds of people got stuck with needles. That's a terrorist attack. They got to find out what they got stuck with. They got to do all type of tests now to find out if they got exposed or something. That's a terrorist attack. I know this squirrel ain't sitting here scheming on these birds. Because he's still. He looking at them too. Hope I ain't about to witness nothing. His ass is still too. Yup, he tried to go for him. They flew away. Yeah, they got stuck. So if you in a crowd and stuff, you gotta be on your P's and Q's. Because hundreds of people got stuck with needles. And kids too. Kids got stuck too. So they probably will find out eventually what they got stuck with. It's kind of crazy. They were doing, they all had to get blood tests ran. And observation to figure out what it was. Was it poison or what did they actually get stuck with? So that happened yesterday. That's an attack. That's a terrorist attack. Even though it might not be considered that, but I think it is. If hundreds of people got stuck, that wasn't by accident. But check this out. You know the safest place you're at? You know where the safest spot to be at is the hood. They ain't coming here. I wish I still had that exploration in me to go after squirrels. She said, leave the squirrels alone. They going chasing the squirrels. And here I am. I don't want the squirrel near me. I wish I still had that curiosity in me. I don't. But yeah, man, even on here, on YouTube, I got to be careful how I talk to people because let me tell you what happened to me. So I'm sitting out in front of the courthouse, just chilling. I don't think nobody know me. You know what I'm saying? I don't. Like, I'm not getting views like Tisa and all them. A couple people came up to me, what's up, Max? I said, huh? They said, what's up, Max? And I just looked at him. He said, Max, is you Max, right? He said, you are Max. I said, no, I'm not Max. He said, yes, you are. I was just watching you. Yes, you are. And me and him dapped up and all that. That was hilarious. He said, bro, man, you hilarious, dog. He said, I just want to let you know you a funny dude, yo. He said, you are a funny dude. I see you walking here every day, and you walk like you got no care in the world. And then it happened to me again when I was in Washington Square Park. It was a lady and her boyfriend. Hey, Max. And just kept walking. I said, hey, how you doing? She said, I'm good. How long you gonna be here for? I said, I'm gonna be here for the whole duration. They're like, yeah, we watching. We might come up there. And just kept going. You never know who's watching you. Never know. So you better be careful out here. I can't be sitting here talking reckless because next thing you know, I'm be sitting up at that courthouse begging for help. Oh, man. Cornered. Because I don't sit up here and talk reckless. That's what happened with that YouTuber that went fatal up in Vegas. They were beefing with each other online and the dude wasn't going. He wasn't trying to hear that beefing. He said, okay, we're here in the flesh now. He sat up there and unalive him and his woman. Now, you might say to yourself, oh, he shouldn't have done that. No, people out here will do that. You don't know what's going on in somebody's mind, man. They could be the best definition of depression. They could be sitting up here There's some people walking around, they don't know if this is going to be their last day. And I hope for some of them people that they just keep taking it day by day. Imagine disrespecting one of them people. So that's what I say, man. That's why, like with this case, like I can't be sitting there talking reckless about Puff. I can't do that. Not because I don't want nobody to come up to me, because I don't want nobody to do that to me if I'm going through that. Even though I put myself in that mess, but still. He got, man, I told you he got life-changing money. It ain't nothing for him to just give a sign and just be hectic out here. Like, for example, like, you know, people been talking and talking and talking about him. He don't never answer them back. Apparently he was. Apparently he was watching. Roger Bonds was saying that, you know, I knew he was petty. I knew he said, yeah, if you see what's his name, punch him in the face. So he has been watching, but he don't respond publicly. Because they said during the trial, when he get up every morning, he wants to hear all the news, whoever mentioned his name. He wants a list and he want to watch it. It's crazy. Trump like that too. They say he's like that too. If you made a video on him or anything, he want to know about it. He want to listen to it. These people are regular just like us, man. You don't think they be sitting up here watching on live chats, on burner accounts? Of course they do. Yeah, I got to walk these streets. I'm sorry. And I'm always by myself. So, and I can't hide, you know, so I just need to be respectful. I was sitting up here on this bench. This lady said my name just out here. I said, what the fuck? Just imagine I'm getting millions upon millions of views a week. Yeah, I really got to be respectful. I'm not trying to I don't have no bodyguards. I won't pay for them either. That's it. But it's interesting with this case. This case has been very interesting because I learned a lot about how they're applying the statute to him, and you know, how they going about their business and different things like that. But I'm gonna tell you something, man. The deliberations, man, it's gonna be rather intense out there, for sure. Mhm. It's gonna be rather intense. It is, especially if they come back with a verdict. It's one thing to come back and say we can't come up with a verdict. I'm talking about come back with a full verdict. We not hung up on nothing. We got a verdict, in which they're very more than capable of coming back with a verdict. So what I plan to do is during that time, just hang around the federal building, federal courthouse, and then once I see the news running, I'm running. That's what I'm be looking at. I'll be looking at Brian and them. Once I see them running, I'm running. That's it. They running, I'm running. I'm gonna be keeping my ears open. I might go in the break room as well, chill out there. But if the family, here's a good indication. If the family leaves and they straight up come back, I'm going in the building. If they came back. But I'll hear the news talking about it. I'll hear it. And then I'll run in the building and go up to the overflow and see what's happening. That's what I'm gonna be doing. Hopefully it's like a day like today, because it's beautiful out today. It's not hot. Unless my body got used to it, but it's not hot as it was yesterday. Well, it's only 9 o'clock, but still, it's nice out right now. They dropped three charges on the state level and the feds, I believe. No, this is not a state case. This is a fed case, not a state. I know what you're thinking. These are state level crimes. I get what you're saying. Nope, the feds got this. And I'm also believing like some of the stuff that was said about him. I'm not so sure, man. Um, they said a lot of stuff, man. Drugs and the baby oil. They confiscated all the tapes that he had in his house from recording all the parties over the years. What if they didn't know? What if they don't have it? That means he have it somewhere. And you know the crazy thing about him is he's fully off the narcotics. He's fully off of it. He cleaned up. He had to because he inside. He got a clear mind too. Very clear. And the one thing I noticed, he's been very active in his case. He's been huddling with his attorneys, saying certain things. He's been very, very active, which he's supposed to be. Damn, I'm over here getting stung. I think that's the second time. I hope I don't start blowing up. I got the sweet meat. You hear me? I got the sweet pause. I know that's pause, right? That's pause worthy. So I got sweet meat. Sweet meat max. Yep. It's not out of the ordinary for them to drop multiple charges. I researched it before I went live. You know I had to. Has there been any other cases where this happened? Yes, it has. It's not out of the ordinary. He's living an alternative lifestyle. The hell shit. Alternative, yep. That's basically what he was doing. And they were too, because they were with him. At this point, he shouldn't even be embarrassed no more. Because nobody, at this point, we don't heard it so much. Nobody care no more. We don't. Bro, you a voyeur. That's it. I think a lot of people in court got tired of hearing about it. Like, okay, he's a voyeur. What else? What else you got? Somebody got a YouTube page that knows Tyler Perry. I know for a fact he know him. And he has some things to say. If you don't know who it is, his name is Walter Lee Hampton. Go check him out. Walter Lee Hampton II. There's some conspiracy theories around Walter on how he got cut. But I'm not getting into that. Because he said that Tyler didn't have nothing to do with it. So, but I'm gonna tell you something though. Tyler ain't nothing to play with. That's just all I can say. He ain't nothing to play with. Nothing to play with. He is nothing to play with. Nothing. So I expect him to go all the way to court with this. I don't think he's gonna try to settle. We'll see. Yeah, he can live free now because ain't nobody caring. Like, all right, man, all right. I'm tired. I was really tired of hearing about it. I'm just being honest with you. I was like, man, can they please spare us, man? I mean, come on. I got tired of hearing about it the second day. I'm not lying to you. That's why the jury is not reacting no more when they seeing the videos. They tired of it. Oh, you don't got to catch the replay. I'll tell you right now, YouTube unfolded because it's early. I went early today. It's just now turning 10 a.m. on the East Coast. So they dropped a few things on his charges on the predicate acts, Ms. VS, and they also dropped aiding and abetting to sex trafficking. If that makes sense to you, okay, is he sex trafficking or what? That's my question. So he had to aid and abet. He had to, but they're saying that they do that to make it easier on the jury, to make it to make it easier for them to do their thing. Oh, you got a call? Yeah, we desensitized to this now. The only thing his mistake was is sitting up there putting his hands on somebody. That was the only mistake. And maybe he should have just got a few more. He should have hired some adult entertainers. That's what he should have did, just so they can look at them. Maybe he should have did that. But see, that's not good enough. He wanted his lady to do it because some people are into that. Man, that'll be big. He sit up there and beat the charges and walk out of that courthouse. I told y'all what I'm gonna do. Straight go viral. Yell at the top of my lungs, I have now crowned you the new Teflon Don. I have crowned you now. You've been crowned. God damn it. You've been crowned. He probably not gonna come out the front. Now, some people said if he beat the case, what happens? Do they take him back to the MDC and release him? No, he walks out the building. He walks right out that building like everybody else. He out of custody. Which he don't go back to no MDC. He go right out there with his family into that Mercedes van with his lawyers. That's what's gonna happen if he beat it and go enjoy the 4th of July. You know he gonna want to party. And then after that, you know what I'm saying, shake the gel off, get him a bath. I recommend an Epsom salt bath, alcohol bath too. Go ahead and get a haircut, get some Just for Men in his life. Call up Jane. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Jane, where you at? Where you at, man? Where you at? I'm in New York. Let's get it. Call up Paul. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Let me stop clowning. You heard me call up Paul. One thing I can say, Paul was their guy. Paul. Let me stop. Nah, he'd be chilling. I would assume he'll be chilling. Some jails take 8 hours to release. Nah, he released right out the courtroom. The judge released you. You go right out that courtroom. He don't leave in handcuffs if he's found not guilty on everything. No, I've been following these cases for the past 10 years. They walk right out that courtroom. They don't go back to jail. They walk right out the courtroom. No handcuffs. He go right in that van and get on his jet. That's what will happen. Nah. He not going back to no MDC. He go right out that front door and get in that Mercedes Sprinter van and get up out of here. That's what will happen. Gray hair and all. He'll have somebody there cut his hair. You know what I'm saying? Get the Just for Men and up in there. Or he might stay gray a little bit. You know? I haven't embraced my grays. You said taking a plea or just what? Nah, he taking his chances to the door. He taking his chances. Nah, ain't no plea deal at this point. Oh no. Let's take it to the door. Let's see what the jury say, and then call up what's his name at the White House, man. Stop playing with me, man. Yo, T, hook me up, man. Hook me up. Hook me up. Stop playing. You see, they showed a video recently. Biden and his son was sitting up in the park having ice cream. His son having ice cream, man. He ain't facing no federal charges. He got a pardon. Sitting there enjoying his life, man. That's the way of a pardon. You said anybody think Diddy didn't do anything wrong shows there's something wrong with you. No, I think everybody know he did the domestic stuff. Everybody know that. It's not one person in here. He admitted to it in the opening statements. He admitted to it. He did do something wrong. He'll tell you, yeah, I did. I sure did. I was sitting there doing the most and got caught up. You said, I wonder if they be looking to arrest him on any little thing. Well, definitely not this no more. It's double jeopardy. It had to be something else. On different people. But he still got to fight the other civil stuff. It's best to fight that when he's free, as opposed to inside. You said they got him on taxes. No, they didn't get Puff on taxes. They would have charged him with that. So obviously they looked into the taxes. I'm pretty sure of it. He's a really good businessman. Really is. I give him that. But I know you're saying Al Capone. Yeah, I know. Man, Al Capone was doing it so big, yo, that he was the first person to be riding around with bulletproof automobiles. Bulletproof. Custom-made suits. You know what I'm saying? He made a hell of a lot of money doing Prohibition. Some of those speakeasies are still in New York City. Did you know that? You know some of those bars that you got to walk underground? Those were speakeasies. A lot of them were. I could show you some. The next time I'm in New York on a Saturday, I'll show you. They still have some from back from Prohibition. But they bars now. They converted them. But I can show you the exact locations. I know all of them. I got a chart written on the addresses on all of them during Al Capone, during the Prohibition time, and also Chicago. Chicago had a few of them too, a lot of them actually. But my family, my great grandmother used to run what you call it, shot houses. I don't know what you call it. Where you just you come to her house and you pay for drinks. You sit at her house, she got liquor and, you know what I'm saying, and you just sit there and drink. And she would have, 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 she You pay for a shot. She used to make a lot of money doing that. And she used to do it up here in New York City too. They migrated here um, and was doing that stuff. Caribbean people still do it. They'll have you go sit at their house if they have like a little garage, have a table, have some liquor, have some beer, whatever you need. You just pay them. They still do that. Some people still do it. It used to be a really big thing in the South, but now it's not so much more anymore. There's a lot of old people still like to do it. It's a dying thing. That's almost non-existent anymore. But when I was coming up, when I was younger, my auntie used to do it in North Carolina. Yep, especially on the weekend. We'd be sitting up there chilling, watching movies. Her friends come over. They sitting up there talking shit. She pouring shots. They pay her, play cards, gamble with cards. They do the numbers. The numbers used to be a big thing too. The last three numbers of what the Wall Street ended at. They used to go with that, those numbers, I believe. The last four numbers, I believe. I can't remember how it worked. Yeah, it is a move. You know, they're simplifying the remaining charges. But however, if I'm the jury, um, I'm just telling you, if I was on the jury, I would know everything. Y'all know. I'd use a VPN and just search all the news. I sure would. I'd be in the know. They should sequester me. They should have sequestered the jury. They call it juke joints. That's what they call. Yeah, I heard that, the juke joints. Yeah, she used to be playing music, sitting up there playing some Wilson Pickett. You know what I'm saying? Some Otis Redding. That's why I got an old soul, because she used to pay. You know what she used to pay me to do? She said, "You sitting up here, you like to hang around the old folks, huh?" I said, "Yes, ma'am." "You sitting up here getting a little bit of gain from us, huh? Sitting up here with the old folks." She said, "I tell you what I'll do. You pour the shots and I pay you." She let me pour the shots. I learned how to pour the shots. She let me pour the shots, and look, back then, this woman, yo, it was my favorite auntie, man. She used to give me $20. $20, yo. $20, go buy some candy, man. And look, $20 back then for a kid, that'll take you a long way. $20, I was rich, okay? She said, go ahead and go treat yourself. And you know what they used to do? Yo, this really happened, yo. This is why I didn't never get in no trouble, because I experienced a lot of shit at a young age. Give him a little taste. Give him a little taste. give him a little swig. Give him a little beer. Give him a little bit, just a little bit. He hanging with the old folks. I was like 12 years old, man. You feel me? He almost a teenager. He up here hanging with the old folks. That's why I got an old soul. Sitting up there with the old folks, man. Acting like I'm old. Like shaking my head when they talking like I understand it and shit, which I didn't. You can't do that no more. That's considered child abuse. I don't condone that, but I grew up in the 80s, okay? Guys, what charges did they drop? Judith want to know. You know, we grew up in the 80s, man. We were latchkey kids, man. Why isn't extortion there? No, bribery is there. What else is there? Tampering with witnesses is still there. They didn't drop that. On the predicate, they didn't drop that. They didn't drop that predicate act. It's still there. No, they didn't. They don't. Oh shit! Hold up. My bad. God damn, being right in my damn face, man. Sorry. Landed right on my damn hat, man. Oh, I got this sweet meat. No, they don't have the extortion on her. They didn't name her as a victim. If that's what you're thinking. No, they didn't. The obstruction of justice is still there. Yes. Thank you. Well, hold on. You said kidnapping, arson, and sex trafficking, but you gotta. It's 2 counts of kidnapping, and lost in L.A. I mean California and New York. Those are dropped, and the S trafficking was not dropped. The what do you call it? The aiding and abetting of sex trafficking was dropped. We gotta be clear on that. But how are you gonna get him on that if he didn't aid and abet? You would have think he did. No, the kidnapping's not there. You mean the 2 counts of kidnapping of New York and California is off. I guess like that, like you said, they trying to make it simple for the jury. Because if you think about all that, they'll be deliberating for at least a week with just all that. They're not going to be finished by the 4th of July, I don't think. I think they'll go longer than that if they kept all that there. Unless they get tired and just check off no on everything. Like, let's get out of here, man. Let's go and enjoy our 4th of July, man. Let's get out of here, man. I mean, they'll be off for the 4th of July, but think about it. Wouldn't you be there for a while trying to figure all this out? But they did take good notes, but they can't take those notes inside the deliberation room. Y'all know that, right? They can't use the notes, if y'all know that. But they took diligent notes, but maybe they remember their notes. I don't remember every note I've taken. Okay, they do have this up here still. The forced labor, that's still there. Forced labor is still there. But I'm going to say no on the forced labor because they had a choice. That one lady said, well, it was a challenge for me. It was a challenge. To stay up 5 days? That's a challenge? You crazy. I'm like, Puff, man, you wildin', yo. I would have told him that. He would have fired me. He fired people, but they still stay there. Because Brendan Paul said Puff fired him. Because he didn't have his Lululemon fanny pack. He fired him. But then he just laid low and he's still not fired. He said, man, you fired, man. You fired. He fired him for a hot second. You fired. You ain't have my Lululemon fanny pack. What kind of crime boss is that? A Lululemon fanny pack? And he's supposed to be a crime boss. God, Lord have mercy. What kind of crime boss is that, man? You said Rock Nation next. You talking about the lady that's being investigated with her daughter. I knew somebody was gonna bring Jay up. Jay, if y'all, that ain't me, Jay. They keep bringing your name up, Jay. It's not me. Y'all leave Jay alone, please. We're not talking about Jay. Now I promise you though, if he get brought in, that'll break the internet. That's bigger than Puff. That's bigger than Puff, man. But they said they're actively looking at this case and actively talking to their lawyers. For sure. You said Rock Nation got to you. They ain't get to me. How much they paying, Melody? And how can I get to them? How can I get to them? I promise you I would. I'd change my vibration. Sean is a great man. Oh, yes. But what they would have to do for me, they're going to have to promote all my videos. That's what they had to get me an interview with Jay for me to be relevant. So if they do that, no, ain't no kidding. How can I get? I'm like, he's a great man, Sean. He's a great man. Shit, how much they paying? He don't look like he cheap. Hey, Jay, man, change my vibration, man. Hook a brother up, Jay. But what you got to do is they got to promote me. That's what they got to do. So all of a sudden, I'm getting million views per video. You already know what time it is, yo. You already know what time it is. Because I know how to play my position. I know how to play my position, man. You feel me? Jay is a good man. He's a good man. Damn, why are you saying he got sociopath behavior? Melody, that's not nice, man. King, this is not on me. This is not on me. Don't say that. Don't say that he got sociopath behavior because you don't know him. That's going to be that. Now he going to be looking at me sideways because you said it. Please. You don't know him to say he got sociopath behavior. Because now he going to be looking at me to see why I didn't correct you. Why I didn't say nothing. Come on, don't do that to me. Oh, you talking about Diddy? Oh, you talking about Diddy, my bad. Oh, you telling King that, okay. Oh, yeah, King, you just yeah, don't say he justifying social. We don't know Diddy to be a sociopath. We don't know him like that. Y'all not gonna have him coming after me, man. Come on, man. I heard what y'all saying in your vlog, Playboy. Heard what you saying in your vlog, Playboy. I ain't say that. I'll tell him I ain't say that. You ain't correct him. You ain't correct him. She said you must got something against Puff. We don't know him to have nothing against him. None of us know him. Maybe some people in here know him. I don't know him personally. I'm going off secondhand information, and that's all it is secondhand information. Even the stories people tell, because I wasn't there. I was not there like that. It ain't like he could sue me because he'll just be practicing. So he can't sue me. But he ain't get my channel taken away. So no, we don't know him to be a sociopath, period. That's it. You say you were listening to Touré and the stuff. Diddy is insane. Shout out to Touré, man. I ran into him a couple times. Just regular, like, just random places. Shout out to Touré, man. I'll never forget, was it him that interviewed R. Kelly that time? He said, well, how young are you talking? Touré was like, what? How young are you talking? That was Touré, yeah. He was like, how young are you talking? When you saying teenager, how young are you talking? Because in R. Kelly mind, 18 is legal in his mind. In his mind, 18 is legal, man. R. Kelly is a different type of beast. He's different. That man was going to the mall getting numbers, yo. He what you call, hey, Rachel, he's what you call, he has a teenage mind. He got a teenage mind, yo. If he get that part, no, I'll be at that concert. Stop playing with me. I'm stepping in the name of love. I'll be stepping, man. So I'm telling you, I've been to a concert when he came to DC. Man, I enjoyed myself, yo. I was dancing and everything, yo. And I was lit. Dancing. Everybody was dancing. Step in the name of love. And then he stopped the show and started, and yo, I swear to you, he stopped the show. I was asking somebody, I said, is he lip syncing? They said, no, that's really him. He was singing opera. I kid you not. He was singing opera, man. And then he was talking to the crowd. He had his towel, and then somebody threw drawers on the stage. He didn't pick them up, though. He didn't. They were too big. He said, Lord, no, he did pick them up. They were real. I think that's a part of his show, that somebody throw big draws on the stage, because it happens a lot of his shows. I think it's the same lady that do it. Them draws was big, boy. But hey, man, I ain't against the big draws. You feel me? You said his music was even nasty. Yeah, going. Who the hell can make a song go half on a baby and make it a hit but him? Happy people. Yeah. Yeah, he was going around talking to people in the crowd. It's hilarious. Then he just started singing opera. He's so talented that he's awkward. A lot of people, Prince was like that too. Remember they had that video of Prince, he was like sucking on a lollipop? He the only person could suck on a lollipop the way he did and take your girl, yo. He the only one. And he offered Quincy Jones a lollipop. And Quincy almost took the lollipop. He stopped himself. He almost took a lick on the lollipop. He almost did. Prince wore high heels, blouse, had a blouse on with fucking 3-inch pumps, and still could take your girl. What kind of mess is that? We all know R. Kelly got problems. We do. But I don't know nobody that made more hits than him. Trapped in the Closet. He turned it into a damn he turned it into a damn show. You said, yep, you would date him. Look, he's sucking a lollipop and looking, you talking about zesty. He was the first one that was zesty. Him and Morris, what's his name? The Morris dude. Zesty. Would sit up there and take your girl. That's what he'll do with high heels on. He was mad short, but you know he used to play basketball in high school. This dude was at the Minnesota Timberwolves game. This is when Kevin Garnett was still playing there. He was sitting in the front row. It don't even look like he was paying attention to the game, yo. He had on a full outfit like he about to perform, looking at the game. But he know how to play. He really did know how to play. He was a point guard. He could have his cheeks out, but that's for the women. That ain't for us. That's for the women. Michael Jackson was the same way. Talk all light and zesty. He'll take your girl too. Michael would. He'll take your girl, man. Listen, this man had women in Bahrain passing out over him, yo. Come on, man. A lot of people are too young to realize how powerful him and Prince were. They don't know. You had to have lived it to know the type of, how the kids say it? This man, the type of motion that he had needs to be studied. The type of sauce he had, it has to be studied. Now, you say you will pass on MJ until you front of your face, Rachel. Hello, Rachel. How are you? Hello, sexy. How are you? Hello. How are you? How are you doing? How you doing, beautiful? Michael he used to check out people too. It was this woman interviewing him. And she had everything out and he was looking too. He was trying not to be like obvious about it, but he was. I know he was like, and then this one woman said something to him that he thought she was asking him to do something. He was like, huh? But he heard her wrong. It was something about signing an autograph. She was like, I need you to do something for me, Michael. He was like, what you talking about? Like, he like looked around and looked at her and whispered it. What are you talking about? These guys were misunderstood. But you got all that talent. And him and Prince, you got to understand, they've been on stage since they were kids. You see what I'm saying? Prince been in church, playing every instrument. They weren't normal people. They're not normal. Yo, what's his name? The comedian T.K. Kirkland. I knew he wasn't lying about his stories, but he tells such crazy stories that people think he lying. But he wasn't lying, because people thought he was lying when he said he stole Eddie Murphy's watch, right? He said, yeah, you know, it was me, Rick James, Charlie Murphy. We was all at the house, and I like took his watch. People like, man, he capping. Until Charlie Murphy vouched for him. He was like, damn, TK, you didn't have to tell that story. We forgive you for that. But people's like, he really wasn't lying. He's like, yeah, but I just want to let people know I gave it, you know, I returned the watch, and he was ashamed of that. He said, I'm really ashamed of that story. You know, but Charlie, he vouched for him. He said it really did happen. He really did. And they were clowning him about it, though. Eddie Murphy's another one that'll take your girl. He's another one. They got different kind of sauce, man. That's something you're born with. That kind of sauce, you got to be born with that. That ain't something you could teach. They said Michael got mad. He was at a show, and Diana Ross hugged somebody. He got mad about it and wrote Dirty Diana. They said that's what fueled that song, but nobody knows. He never confirmed it. But I remember he was in England, and he was meeting Princess Di when she was still alive, in Charles. And she came up to him. Charles was like, he was greeting other people. She was like, Michael, I need you to play that song for me. But he took it out of the show. He said, I can't do that now. I took it out of the show. Because he said, Michael, I need to ask you something. And he just said, what's happening? That's how he said it, what's happening. You know he still got that Gary in him. He said, what's happening? That's how he said it. She thought he wrote it for her. I don't think so. It wasn't for her. But she wanted him to perform that song. He thought it was inappropriate because he knew they were going to be there. That's why he took it out of the show. But she was insisting on it, but he didn't perform it. Michael was, boy, that was a different kind of dude, yo. Don't act like you don't remember him at the Grammys, yo. Him and Emmanuel Lewis, yo. He's sitting there carrying Emmanuel Lewis, man. Come on, Mike. Come on, man. Like, what are y'all doing, man? Mike was different, yo. He's what you call he was free. He was free, man. I remember they had a video. It's on YouTube, him and Macaulay Culkin. He rented the whole 2 floors of this expensive hotel, and they were having water fights, throwing water at the fans and stuff. He said, we're going to get in trouble. We're going to get in trouble. We can't do this. What the fuck? That's what you call you got a lot of money. He's sitting up there climbing trees and shit. He had a tree house, climbing trees. And what's that guy, Martin Bashir? He was trying to interview him. He couldn't. He said, come on, climb up. Don't you climb trees? His ass had to climb that tree to interview him, yo. Mike had a whole tree house in his backyard, man. He had an amusement park in his backyard, man. He went to this spot in Vegas. He was like buying all this stuff, right? He ain't even pay for it. He was like, yeah, I want that, and that. I want this, and this. He never did pay for it. They ain't deliver it to him. Michael's a different kind of guy, man. Now we got Puff. Puff is different, man. They some different people, man. Well, okay, you might say Joe stole MJ's childhood, but if it wasn't for Joe, he wouldn't be who he was. Facts. You better do that damn step and get it right. You better do that damn step. You better do it again or you're going to get a whooping. You better do it right. When you snap your finger, do that twist and do it right. I don't know. If I had a lot of bucks, what would I do if I be bored? I'd be somewhere like on a freaking beach somewhere, man, just chilling, doing yoga with Russell Simmons or some shit. I'd be doing yoga, man. I'd be out there with Russell at, man, trying to find myself, getting high, trying to find myself, man, trying to find the meaning of um. I'd be talking to trees, man, like for real. I don't know what I'd be doing. How can Max go on live for hours? I don't go on live for hours. It's only been an hour and 20 something, 28 minutes. It's easy because I'm sitting there, I'm the original gum bumper, man. I just bump my gums about something. Bump my gums about life, and I got stories for you. See, I ain't tell a story in a minute. You said 3 hours is long enough. Okay, Melody, I will keep that in mind, that 3 hours is long enough. Not for the algorithm, not for the watch time minutes. It actually means something. If I do back-to-back 4-hour lives, it'll boost all my videos. Facts. It sure would. But I need a little more. I need that algorithm to show me some love. You feel me? Show a brother some love. You know? You try it once and you was exhausted. You got to train for it. It's training. It's training. I'm going to go live again in a little bit after this. The longest you going was 2.5 hours. The longest I was going was 8 hours. 10 hours. I did a 10-hour live before, yo. Stop playing with me. 10. 12 hours. Actually 12. Might have been 12 hours. Okay? 12 hours. Shit, somebody got me beat. That guy Steve from he talk about the news. It's called something TV news. I forget his name. Steve. Man, Steve went 19 hours one time, yo. We were worried for Steve. We said, Steve, man, you gotta take a break. Steve, when something break overseas, Steve is on it. He is on it. Steve is on it. Grounding. Yeah, Steve is on it, man. It's called Agenda Free. Yeah, Agenda Free TV. Steve don't be playing. He don't went live 19 hours one time. He went live so long that the people had to tell him to take a break. And he was like, he said, I'm gonna take a 10-minute break and I'll be right back. I was like, man. And he went another hour, then he ended the live. And then something else broke off and he went live again. Yeah, we talked about that, the arson being dropped. It could be inconclusive. They want to make it simple for the jury. They want to make it simple. That's what they saying. It's not out of the ordinary for them to drop some predicate acts. They drop 1, 2, 3 predicate acts. Because I say 2 because when you say kidnapping, it's on the East Coast, New York and California. So they took that off for the jury. And they took the aiding and abetting on sex trafficking. So if he didn't aid and abet, did he do it or not? Or did he do it by himself? He had to aid and abet. He had to. But they dropped it off, so I think it's more confusing. Like, how am I going to get him on this and he ain't aiding and abet the crime? His life will be okay. I mean, people like a comeback story in this country. People love a comeback story. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But they still got a little bit of mountain to climb here. Well, the bribery, that's one predicate act. They got to find another one to find them guilty on count 1. And the other ones are weak to me. It's a weak situation. Now, here's the thing. On the Mann Act, if they get him on the Mann Act, that's 2 counts, Jane and Cassie. That carries a maximum of 10 years apiece. Now, I believe that'll run concurrent. And he already got, let's say, a year time served already. So that'll shave off. And let's say he sentenced him to a total of 2.5 years apiece. No, let's say 2 years apiece. He would have to serve another year before he's eligible for parole. That's how it worked. Which the judge could say you can just do it all at home. Or just do it all in the MDC. You don't even have to leave the MDC. He could just do it all there. He'll be out next summer. They could do it like that. Because you already got time served. If they run it consecutive, he's fucked. But if he run it concurrent, which I think it'll be concurrent because he hasn't had any hiccups in the last 10 years. Remember, there's a point system. So he had that working in his favor. You said 10:41 a.m. and it's 90 degrees outside. It's nice out here where I'm at. But it's going to get hotter later, probably. You said Trump standing on the side to get him cleared. Not cleared, a pardon. A pardon doesn't clear your record. But it forgives you of the situation and get your passport back and go get your liberties back. And right now, he's not even thinking about trying to beat this case. Right? He's trying to get a not guilty all the way down. We'll see what happens. It's up to the jury, though. But it's the jury, man, not us. That's what Weinstein lawyer said. If he had state charges, he'd be really screwed. He would have to take a deal if it was on the state. He'd have been really screwed. Really, really screwed. But he would have to, New York got a new mayor, huh? New York City got a new mayor? No, the verdict is not coming today. They start deliberating more than likely Monday. So the verdict could come as early as Monday. Which means that he'll be out for the 4th of July if he beat this case. He'll go enjoy his 4th of July, man. I think the first thing he'll do is just chill with his kids. Because they held him down, for show. His sons, he did a good job with them. They held him down, man. They did. They held him down. And he got to know who his friends are now. You know what I'm saying? And there ain't many of them. But them boys, those are his friends. His kids, too. His kids and / friends. That's it. Truth be told, Jane was helping him. I'm telling y'all that. She was helping him. And look, I know somebody said that she didn't hug the attorneys. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. I don't know why somebody say she didn't hug the attorney. Yes, she did. I saw it. Yes, she did. And everybody was stunned. They were like, what did she do here? Yes, she did. She hugged them. She sure did. She hugged the prosecutor, Comey, and she hugged Tenny Garagos. She sure did. You said no, Max. The first thing he'll do is get some baby oil and have a freak off with Jane. How much they paying? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, y'all. I'm kidding. Puff, how much you paying, yo? How much you paying? You heard me? Puff, how much you paying, yo? Puff, how much you paying, man? How much you paying, yo? How much you paying, Puff? Are you willing to work on demand? Puff, I'm willing to work on demand. Ain't none of y'all, man, I'm just kidding, yo. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You gotta say you kidding, because people like, look at him. He's nasty. He's nasty. No, Jane was looking good. She sure was. Jane, I always wanted to meet you. I always wanted, let me stop. You said you the cleanup committee after the freak off. Yeah, they'll say you nasty. You said the Punisher too. I do my best. See, I'll make it comical. Look back at it. Look back at it. How's your day going? Talk to me nasty. Talk to me nasty. Talk to me nasty. Puff, how much you paying, man? How much you paying, Puff? How much you paying, man? No, folks can't take a joke sometimes, celebrity. Look at him. I'm unsubscribing to him. I'm unsubscribing. He condoned this type of debauchery. I'm unsubscribing when I was just joking. Must you joke about this? You know, some people, I'm telling you, man, that's how it is. I don't have people unsubscribe to me for making a joke on Umar. We didn't appreciate that when he said black queens forever, snow bunnies never. It's a joke. That's his thing, you know, that's his kick. Every time the snow bunnies come by, he got to say something to make a big production. Snow bunny alert. He like snow bunny, and he's sitting there looking at him. He checking them out. He talking about snow bunny alert. Why he looking? He could just be looking at his phone. He keep looking at him. Snow bunny alert. Yeah, because I was like, no snow bunnies, no rice bunnies, no sand bunny. You know, like I was just joking. Yeah, they got offended. How you gonna hold me to that? Hard as it is out here, can we just laugh a little bit? Can we have some laughter? Just a little bit, please. Yeah, he's sitting there looking, talking about snow bunny alert. Yeah, because he's checking them out, making it a big production. That's Umar for you, man. What you gonna do? He been vlogging on this case. He's been watching. He knows everything about it. He sure is, man. But that's how it is, man. You gotta have some kind of laughter or something. You know, you got to. Will they vandalize again? Yeah, I'm just joking on the free calls. just joking, man. He like, Playboy, you serious? I said, let me go get the oil. Let me go get that oil. Let me stop, yo. Let me stop. Let me stop. Let me go get the oil. Let me go get the oil. He ain't thinking about that, yo. He trying to chill with his family. You know what I'm saying? For the 4th of July. He trying to chill and, you know what I'm saying? He trying to chill. You know what I mean? Relax. Roll him a doobie. Roll him a doobie. Ain't no more of them black excellence parties, though. Because them people, ain't nobody can't say it nothing. Everybody quiet. Everybody quiet. But shout out to G Dep, though. He came through. G Deps came through like that. Kanye West showed up for a hot minute. Everybody else, man, is quiet. Maybe they quiet for a reason. They gotta be. I don't know. You never know. They might have been helping them on the low. You never know. But I don't know. He being there for the flex. She showed up though. Maybe that's a thing with rich people, man. They like to have shows like that. I don't know. I don't know, man. I have no idea. You said live performance is like a musical. You need to make it legit if that's what you want to keep doing. You got to turn it legit. I don't know how you make that legit, though. I don't know how. You got to come up with something. Shit, Jane, like the hell with y'all. I'm still getting my rent paid. Hell with y'all. Y'all can think what you want. I'm getting my lawyer fees paid. He got me when he get out. Hook a sister up with some bread. That's it. Should I be ready to settle down with Jane? She in the Hall of Fame. She in the Hall of Fame with it. They cracked me up when she said that. She said, because I'm the best. That's why. She said it just like that, too, because I'm the best. I said, this is a goddamn show. I'm sitting up here getting bit. Damn. Because I'm the best. That's what she said. How can you sign a consent? I mean, I don't know. I think you just need to chill, for sure. All right, I need you to sign this non-disclosure, please. You said, what's up with Jennifer Lopez getting charged, too? What did she get charged with? I didn't hear nothing about J-Lo. J-Lo chilling, man. J-Lo chilling. That was outside the time frame, yeah, when she was with him. Yeah, J-Lo chilling. She's been quiet. Damn, Lorraine came up in here hard body. She said, who started the rumor that the charges would drop? Some on Diddy today. Prove it. Dang. She came in here and just dropped the mic on us. You hear that? Lorraine said, well, who started that rumor? She said, yes, I want to know. I didn't start it. I'm just sitting here enjoying this nice weather out here. It ain't too hot right now. She said, I did my research because I heard it's not true. Who told you it's not true? Which content creator told you that it's not true? They look, all right. We didn't say they dropped charges. We said they dropped predicate acts. There's a difference. In the RICO, you gotta prove 2 predicate acts before you get them found guilty on a RICO. They dropped some predicate acts. You said give me cites. No, not drop some charges. They dropped predicate acts. That he didn't get charged, it's a predicate act. To be a criminal organization, you had to perform at least 2 predicate acts in a 10-year period. No, it's predicate acts, not charges. His charges were not dropped. He still got 5 charges, Lorraine. Oh, damn, my title said charges? My bad. Well, I correct myself. I can't change it just yet. It's predicate acts. Sorry, he still had 5 charges. Sorry. Sorry, it's predicate acts. I should have changed it. I can't change it right now. It's not charges, Lorraine. The charges, he still had 5 charges. He has the RICO, the two trafficking charges with Jane Doe and Cassie, and he got 2 charges of the Mann Act. He got 5 charges still. Not charges. We meant predicate acts. Sorry. My apologies. Yeah, but it's not charges. It's predicate acts. Yes, where can I read what you said? Just Google it. Or go to the Law and Crime Network. They probably talking about it now. No, the charges have not been dropped. Can I give you a source? Go to yeah, there's a source. Go to Inner City Press on X account. Type in Inner City Press. They have the documents up there. If you can't go on Pacer, go to Inner City Press. Inner City Press on X account. And you can see the documents there and read it for yourself. No, it's not charges. Everybody, see, look, I know TMZ is report. It's just, it's predicate acts has been dropped. To simplify it, they're doing that to simplify it for the jury. This is not out of ordinary. They're doing it to simplify the jury. It's not charges. You said, dang, Lorraine must be the feds burnt. No, she ain't a fed, is she? Lorraine, you a fed? If it is, I'm not doing nothing wrong. I'm just sitting here enjoying the weather. Don't come after me. I'm just sitting here enjoying the weather. Okay? I'm just sitting here enjoying the weather and minding my business. They fixing my mother's sink. So I got to sit up here and I'm taking care of my mother, man. That's all I'm doing. You said Tisha tells me in a video saying he cooperated. Lord have mercy, Jesus. That woman that's my girl, though. That's my girl, man. Leave my girl alone, man. Leave my home girl alone, man. Let her make her money, man. I like, did she say that for real? I'm gonna have to say something to her when I see her in court. I'm like, Tisha, he cooperated? I'm gonna say that to her. He did? Yes, he cooperated. He did. Yes, 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 yes. She tall too. She tall. Cause she wear them heels. Free Puff. King saying free Puff, man. That's it. We saying free Puff over here, man. Hashtag free love. Free love, man. I'm not saying Tisha lying. I just ain't watch her video yet. I'll watch it when I get off. She's saying he cooperated. Yo, she off the hook. Yo, she getting her money, man. Let her get her money, man. Because she making it. Let her get her money. She glowing. She be glowing. I don't know what her skin regimen is. She be glowing, yo. Sitting up there flowing and glowing. She said he gave up big names. Carlton, you no, she didn't. Carlton, don't say that. Guys, can somebody go look for real quick and see a Carlton lying? Celebrity, can you check real quick to see if she said that? She ain't say that. She said he may have cooperated. Okay, may have is different than cooperating. And I don't want to put that jacket on somebody unless I know. But if he did, Puff enjoying the 4th of July. He sure is. I wouldn't knock him, to be honest with you. Why? Ain't nobody had his back. You mean you can't have nobody to have this man back? Not none? Not none. Not nobody. I would have had his back, yo. If that was my boy, fuck that, man. He not guilty, man. The hell with that. That's my boy, yo. That's it. They were like, well, Max, yes, he did do the domestic stuff. Yes, he did. And they admitted to it. Okay? You have to go to Interstate. You have X account, Lorraine? Do you have X account? You said, where is Groovy Lou? Who is Groovy Lou? I heard that name. What's that about? What's Groovy Lou? Groovy. Oh, you talking about the stylist? He chilling. He don't need his stylist right now. When he get out, you'll see Groovy Lou. You talking about his stylist? Yeah, Groovy Lou, the dreads. Well, he don't need a stylist right now, do we? You said no news. Yeah, they are speaking on TMZ, speaking about it. Everybody's speaking about it. Harvey said he should be found not guilty. You leave it up to Harvey. Harvey said, man, this man not guilty, man. Stop playing, yo. Come on, man. Harvey, a lawyer. I did read it last night, Celebrity. Puff best friend with him anywhere. That's his stylist, Groovy Lou. Yeah. I know you talking about. Lorraine, come on, man. I read it last night. I'm dead serious. Go to X account. I already told you where to go. Go to X account and go to Inner City Press, and he got the documents right there. Or go to the Diddy docket. Go to the Diddy docket on X account, and you'll find everything you're looking for. I've already told you where to go. No, she don't even got to go to Pacer. Go to the Diddy docket. The THE Diddy DIDDY docket DOC KET. Go to the Diddy docket. I almost can't fucking spell messing with her. Diddy docket, man. Go to the Diddy docket. You said I do not see reliable news. So, Lorraine, you now, Lorraine, 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 we watching you. Lorraine, we watching you. We've already told you where to go. If she can't afford, if she can't, if she don't, she needs an account though with Pacer. If you don't have an account, go to the Diddy docket or go to Inner City Press on X account and you will find the documents. It was posted last night. They posted last night. These people working, man. These lawyers working. I got that. What about reliable? Okay, yeah. Lorraine, you're on the clock, Lorraine. You're on the clock. And we having a good day, Lorraine. You just came up in here just deboing me. That's what you're doing. You're deboing. You're deboing. You're gooching me. You said why? No, you're gooching me. You're gooching me. You probably don't know who the gooch is. How old are you, Lorraine? You know who the gooch is from Different Strokes? Lorraine, because I'm telling you where to go. And you keep saying, well, I need some reliable. They got the documents on Twitter or X account. Because I said reliable sources. I gave you the reliable sources. These people are in the courtroom. Lorraine, it's too hot for this. I'm sitting up here trying to enjoy this breeze and work on my tan. Okay? And here you come. NBC and others not in the courtroom. They are in the courtroom. I see them every day when I go there. Ain't nothing more reliable than Pacer. All right, Eric, let's move on. What's up, Native? We're going to move on, celebrity. Because Lorraine is signifying. She's signifying up in here. She wanna be signifying and hijacking the chat. That's what she doing. You hijacking the chat. No, this is not hearsay. It's not hearsay. But you just want to be signifying. That's all. You want a little bit of attention. Where you from, Lorraine? I'm going to give you a little attention. Where you from? She must have. Oh, come on, Carlton. Don't get us started. Carlton, please. Oh, you from California. How old are you? In what part of California? What part of California? My age? How old are you? I asked you first. She might be from LA. Okay, yeah, LA. I thought so. Los Angeles. I thought so. Crenshaw. Okay, I was just around there. I was just around your hood last year in May. I was in Crenshaw area, 52nd, everything. I was everywhere. I went by the Blade and everything. Yes, I did go by the Blade. I sure did. Crenshaw High School. Okay. I went by the Blade. I sure did, just to see what it was about. They out there in full bikinis. They sure was. Craziness. I sure was out there. You said I've been following the case every day, listening to both sides. How old are you? I asked you your age. Look, I'm like the Star Report. He be asking people age. What's your age? What happened, Max? What they dropped some predicate acts, Corey. They dropped aid and abetting to trafficking. They dropped the arson and something else. Yeah, well, I've been in the courtroom for sure, Lorraine. I've been in the courtroom. I will be there Friday. No, those are not state. He got fed. He's a fed. He's in the federal system, not state. He might be, Corey. Probably zero. But they said they wanted to make it a lot simpler for the jury to not make this complicated. All right, let me see. Lorraine, you remember the OJ trial? Do you remember that? Or better yet, do you remember 9/11? Because I could find out just by asking questions. Do you remember 9/11? Yes or no? You remember 9/11? You remember the OJ case? What were you doing during the OJ case? And you better not say preschool, because I told you where to go to find this right here. Okay. X account, Inner City Press. He has the documents, or the Diddy docket. That's it. That's it. We're done now. We're done. We can move on. We're done. You know damn well you were you were riding a big wheel during that time. Stop playing with me. Lorraine, I told you where to go. I see she's saying hot. She working me now. See, Lord have mercy. I'm just out here trying to chill and build. Let's see. Yeah, I had more doubt too, Eric. I got a lot of doubt. I think they just had a kinky relationship. To be honest with you, he shouldn't have put his hands on him. That's where he made the mistake at. You said I was driving a big wheel. That's why you laughing. You don't remember no OJ case, man. You just remember from what you did research on. You weren't living it. I know he was charged with RICO, but we saying, somebody had said earlier, did he do? Y'all, must something be wrong with you if you don't think he did nothing wrong. He did do something wrong. He did. We all agree to this. He did. I told you he shouldn't have put his hands on nobody, or he may not be in this situation. She said she was in room 9 during the OJ trial. Oh, you know, I meet people, they don't remember 9/11. That's crazy. That's how it is. Lorraine came up in here to troll. That's what she doing. That's a form of trolling, what she doing. It's a form of trolling. We may have to time you out for, let me think about this. Let me think. Let me see. I'm gonna put you in timeout for 5 minutes. You in timeout for 5 minutes. I'm gonna give you 5 minutes to change your vibration. Okay? I'm gonna give you 5 minutes. You're not banned, but I gave you 5 minutes in the box. That's it. You got 5. This is like Hockey, you got 5 minutes in the penalty box. Okay? You got 5 minutes in the penalty box. I can feel her energy too. She's trolling. So she got 5 minutes in the penalty box. Okay? That's it for that infraction. You can't hijack the chat. You can't hijack the chat because we just up in here chilling. We don't know what's going to happen. The jury hasn't decided yet, Lorraine. The jury has not decided yet. They decide Monday. Okay, we're going to figure out what the jury going to do, and then we'll talk about that. And if he's lucky, the jury will side with him, if he's lucky. So we'll see. He's not out of hot water yet. Yeah, she came up in here hard, boy. She, like, yeah, I'm about to hijack this chat on the low. We gave her 5 minutes in the penalty box. You can't, yeah, Lorraine, you got 5 minutes in the penalty. You can't even type right now because we can't see it. Don't even try it. Don't even try it. You got 5 minutes. The next time it's going to be 10 minutes. That's the next time. If you don't change your vibration. You really trying to steal my energy right now? Look, I'm sounding like Puff. You know who I am? But we needed that, Lorraine. Shout out to her. She from Los Angeles. She's like LA. She lost and jealous. I got that from Freck. West Philly Freck. He said, y'all like LA, you're lost and jealous. It is too many overlapping and complex legal theories, man. They might as well just be like, you know what? The jury gonna be like, we are confused. We are confused. What do y'all want us to do with him now? Yeah, because we confused. Guys, the most powerful moment in the trial happened in the beginning. When Tenny Garrigo said, will you please stand? And when he stood up, man, I was like, this ain't right, man. I changed my vibration when he stood up, man. And he just kind of stood there, just humble, man. Just like, man, I ain't do this, man. And he was looking, and everybody got quiet. It looked like his hair was glowing. It looked like he was glowing, man. Yes, he did the most. Yes, he did. But I felt like the charges were, they overcharged him. And if they didn't overcharge him, he probably would have had to take a deal, more than likely. Or maybe he would have fought it still. He probably would have fought it still. And he came into court the other day. He had a book in his hand. And Emily was like, Diddy, what are you reading? She whispered it, but he heard what she said, oh, you want to see my book? He said it so for she can hear it. He said, hold on. And he let her read, he let her see the title of the book, and he showed everybody. Now that they charge away, do you still feel the same? I have doubt. I already said it. I have too much doubt to put them away, whether I like them or not. I have too much doubt. I feel like he just had this is an unusual relationship, unusual. And he's guilty of trying to have a damn squad. He's guilty of that. He couldn't handle it because everybody got jealous. And he's sitting up there trying to argue with him. He made so many mistakes. She said, you ain't gonna sit up here and not promise me a trip. And you gonna take this young thing on a trip acting like you in a relationship with her. She got jealous. She sure did. He told her, I think I'm going to be done. He said, you sitting up here, you're going to be done. I think I'm going to be done. Yeah, this is doubt there. They proved the doubt. They ain't even put on a case. They said, man, we ain't got to put on no case, man. He ain't do it. And the jury heard that. I'm like, okay, they ain't put on a case, so. He literally changed a lot of people in that courtroom vibration. It started when he stood up. I'm telling you it did. I said, man, what the fuck? He looked for his family as soon as he go in the courtroom, too. They sit right in the back, and he see him right there, and he do the heart thing. He got too many high-powered attorneys. I told you Ronald Sullivan entered the building. He sure did. Nobody commented on it but me. He sure did enter the building. He's one of the known constitutional law lawyers. He was the head of Harvard Law School. R. Kelly had predicate acts dropped too. Well, I did say it's up to the jury still. I said he's not out of hot water. Yeah, he damn got a break from that. He got his mind clear. All of them their price went up, Carlton. But all these lawyers, they've been respected already, though. They didn't need this kid. They've been respected. They've been demanding a high salary. He's going to show a lot of emotion if he beat this case. He is. They're going to have to hold on to him. He's going to show a lot of emotion. It's not right. It's not right. And I feel it in my heart. It's not right what they did. It's not right. That's why you have court, because everything comes out in court. But you got to have a little something to fight it, though. Yes. He said you're doing a good job. He did. The judge is doing a good job. He is for his first. This is his first case. This is his first. It's his first high-profile case, and it's his first criminal case, for sure. You said Tyrone Blackburn just got arrested for mowing down a process serving Fat Joe case. According to Tim's, come on, old boy, is that true? This thing is falling apart, dog. God is in the courtroom. Because if he didn't do it, God is going to intervene. I really, truly believe that. God will intervene here. And he already paid for that domestic stuff. He paid. By going through this whole process, that was his payment. He paid dearly. He paid dearly. And made that woman a millionaire. He sure did, because she deserved it. Because she was on the shelf for so many years. She deserved it. And you know the crazy thing is, she couldn't say she hated him. She couldn't mouth it. Tyrone Blackburn got arrested. God damn, Ty. There's so much stuff happening. My cousin was in the system. He said, bro, they overcharged him. He got overcharged. He said if they hadn't overcharged him, he said more than likely he probably been looking at taking a deal at that point or trying to fight it or take his chances. Because if he really truly didn't do this, that he had to fight it. But he said he overcharged him. Oh, she's saying all this because Tisa said, okay, that's what it was. That's where she got her information. Okay. Well, listen, Tisa, my homegirl. Somebody just sent me a note. Tisa, my homegirl. So shout out to Tisa. No, he wasn't being sarcastic. He said you're doing a good job. You said Myron from Fresh and Fit loved to clout chase. They were over their heads on this case. Yeah, Myron, I saw him there. He was coming to court. The guy from Fresh and Fit. Yeah, man. Well, I think I'm gonna end it here. I'm gonna go check out some news and I'll come back, see what's happening with Mr. Because I don't know about that situation with that lawyer. I'm gonna have to look into that. Because he did do that. That's crazy. But guys, I will catch you on the next one in a few minutes, and we'll see what happened.